This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, the Miami Dolphins lost again to the Buffalo Bills. Letran and Perpetual help had a great Friday the 13th. San Miguel scored big against Phoenix. Mike Madrigal, the longest reigning Filipino pro wrestling champion, is on the show. And here's the roundup. In the NFL, Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa was intercepted 3 times before he collided with Buffalo safety Damar Hamlin and sustained a concussion. The Buffalo Bills trounced the Miami Dolphins 31-10 in Miami Gardens, Florida. Buffalo defeated Miami for the 12th time in their past 13 meetings. We now go over to the Phil Oil Eco Oil Arena in San Juan, where Letran finally notched its first win on the game-long brilliance of Jimbo Estrada and clutch triples by Deo Cuajao. The Knights broke from a 58-all tie and put Jose Rizal University in the hole, 70-62. In the second game, the Perpetual Help Altas were up by 12 points when Arellano unleashed a series of runs to close to within a point with 1 minute and 45 left in the game. The Altas kept their composure and joined St. Benilde and San Sebastian on top with the 69-67 win. In the 45th FIDE Chess Olympiad in Hungary, I am Daniel Quizon shell-shocked Super GM Dimitri Kollars with a 54-move result of a Sicilian duel. It was the only silver lining as Team Philippines lost to Germany 3-1. Quizon is now 2 ratings points away from claiming the Grandmaster title. In the PBA Governor's Cup, Jordan Adams hit the ground running, so to speak, as the returning import led San Miguel to huge leads to power the Beermen to a 139-127 pounding of Phoenix Super LPG at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. CJ Perez and Junmar Fajardo combined for 45 points to represent the local Beermen. When we return, we will explore a burial and some unfinished business with the longest reigning Filipino pro wrestling champion, Mike, the Walking Death Madrigal, right here on The Scorecard. Tonight on The Scorecard, we have our first ever live in-studio guest. Here he is, the longest reigning Filipino pro wrestling champion. Welcome to The Scorecard, the Walking Death, Mike Madrigal. Yeah, all right. All right, Mike, you can put your mask here. He's got the belt with him. I cannot believe this. We have another champion here on the show. This time it is Filipino pro wrestling champion, the Walking Death himself, Mike Madrigal. Give it up, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Mike, big event happening on Sunday. Filipino Pro Wrestling, FPW, unfinished business. How excited are you?
I am ready for Red Oliero.
Wow.
He's been working.
Wow.
He's been running into my matches. I'm ready for him, man. I'm ready for him.
Sana nakatutok ngayon si Mr. Red Oliero. Of course, Red Oliero, if you guys don't know him, he is a comedian who's actually on Netflix, but he's also the president of Filipino Pro Wrestling. He's trying to be the Vince McMahon of FPW dito sa Pilipinas. But can you tell us about that, Mike Madrigal? Because I only learned about FPW a couple of months ago. Hindi ko alam na meron palang pro wrestling dito sa Pilipinas. And when I was a kid, I was a huge fan. So nakakatuwa to see that you guys do what you do. Much respect. Can you tell us about the history of FPW?
Well, FPW started nung 3 years ago, right after the pandemic. We were wrestlers prior to a previous promotion. Tapos, yun nga, after ng pandemic, napaisip kami, pwede na ba tayo bumalik? Pwede na ba ulit yung contact sports? And once we had the Go Cignal, yun na, nag-start na kami mag-training. We had people from the UK to train us.
Wow!
Talaga nag-invest si Red Oliero. Yan lang yung masasabi kong maganda ginawa mo, Red Oliero. Na tina-train kami, talagang nag-invest siya sa talent development.
Oh my God, shots
And here we
fired,
are now.
Mr. Red Oliero. Sana talaga nanunood si Red ngayon because this is brewing into something big, unfinished business happening on Sunday. Pero ikaw, Mike, kwentuhan muna tayo. You call yourself the Walking Death, but I found out just yesterday actually na bago ka pumasok sa pro wrestling, you were a cheerleader.
Yes.
So paano nangyari yon na NCAA cheerleader ka tapos naging pro wrestler with this persona of the Walking Death?
Well, kasi nung nag-cheerleading naman ako nung NCAA, nanonood na ako ng wrestling. Like
Okay.
everybody nung bata sila, nanonood sila ng pro wrestling. And ang maganda doon kasi nung nag-cheerleader ako, yung mga stunts, yung mga lifting, na-carry over ko sa pro wrestling. So maganda naman yung transition.
Yeah, I get that because I watched live in your last event tapos nakita ko na hindi pwede yung malaki lang yung katawan, malakas sumuntok, kailangan yung maliliksi, di ba?
Yes. Ang the best doon yung technique. Kailangan may technique.
Yun. Okay. So, ang maganda rin na napansin ko dito sa FPW, you know, it's not just wrestling. May mga storylines dito na nangyayari. We're seeing some of your videos. This is your entrance. Napakalupit. Ang bawat wrestler may sariling gimmick.
Yes.
So, yung Walking Death, kwento mo naman sa amin, how did Mike Madrigal become this guy, the Walking Death?
Well, sa totoo lang, kaya The Walking Dead, kasi
Okay.
I was a fan of the series The Walking Dead. And ginawa ko na lang The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Kasi parang personification of death ang gusto ko. He's a butt kicker, basically.
And that's exactly what you're doing here. We're seeing a lot of your moves. Ano ba signature move mo, Mike?
Mine is the pump handle driver.
Okay.
Mamaya makikita rin, isa pa yun yung GTS,
Okay.
where i-lift ko sila sa fireman's carry, tapos tutuhurin ko sila sa mukha.
And watching you, I also saw na meron kang mga influences ng mga current stars like Roman Reigns. Meron ka ring Superman punch,
Yes.
di ba? But your finisher is
The near-death experience.
near-death experience. Paki-explain naman kung ano ba itong near-death experience.
Basically,
Nakakatakot naman.
pump handle carry siya na lift.
Okay.
Tapos, lilift ko sila, tapos babalibigin ko sila ng on their necks.
Wow, that is crazy. Now, of course, growing up, ako, as a kid watching wrestling, yung una kong mga napanood, sina Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart, Shawn the Heartbreak Kid Michaels, I thought it was real. But then some older people were telling me, hindi, fake yan, hindi totoo yung wrestling. Ano masasabi mo sa mga nagsasabi na, wala naman yan fake naman yung wrestling. What's your reaction to those people who say that?
Ang masasabi ko, yung mga stunts na ginagawa namin, yung mga bumps na ginagawa namin, it's very real. The pain is very real. Yun lang ang masasabi ko doon.
And I agree, watching you guys live, nakita ko talaga ang lakas ng pagbagsak nyo. And also, yung lumalaban kayo around the ring sa labas.
Opo.
So is that something that you guys plan prior to the event? Paano nyo ba ine-execute lahat ng storylines and of course, the matches that you have with every FPW event?
Yes, basically meron kaming storylines na nakalatag and then bibigyan kayo ng matches.
Okay.
Tapos sa matches na yon, kailangan ma-execute nyo yung story.
Okay.
Masabi nyo yung story through action.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, Mike, obviously, this is a job, but it cannot be full-time dahil growing pa lang yung community ng pro wrestling dito sa Pilipinas. Ikaw ba, meron kang day job and how often do you train with regards to may day job ka tapos wrestler ka?
Actually, yes. I'm a shipyard manager for
Wow.
our business. Tapos, ang training ko, well, ang weight training ko is siguro 3-4 times a week.
Okay.
And then once a week ang wrestling training namin, which is every Sunday.
Okay. Would you say may risk in terms, kasi may trabaho ka, tapos you risk your body here. Does the risk like outweigh yung benefits? Like what's the cost sa pagsabak mo dito bilang isang pro wrestler?
Sa totoo, the risk do outweigh yung benefits, to be
Okay.
honest. Kasi kung masaktan ka, paano ka papasok ng Lunes? Ito yung
totoo
pinaka-ano ng independent wrestler. Magre-wrestling kami linggo, papasok kami ng 8 to 4 namin na sa Lunes.
Mike, what is the biggest benefit or joy na nakukuha mo sa pagiging isang professional wrestler?
Ako sa totoo, it's to live my dreams. Like every kid na nanonood ng pro wrestling, ako masaya ako na nagagawa ko siya. And yung pangalawa is, umpisa na namin yung industriya, napalalakihin na lang sana namin.
And, you know, I pray for you guys. I'm rooting for you guys. It's a great production. If anybody's watching right now, do give your local pro wrestling circuit a try and check out The Walking Death, Mike Madrigal on Sunday. Mike, baka nanonood si Mr. Oliero and everybody who are potential new, old wrestling fans, invite them to Unfinished Business on Sunday.
Una-una, Red Oliero.
Patay.
Lahat ng kasikata mo, yung Netflix specials mo, yung mga pelikula mo, hindi mo magagamit yan. Lahat ng followers mo sa social media, hindi mo magagamit yan. Kasi pro wrestling tayo sa linggo. And to all the wrestling fans, please watch FPW's first PLE, FPW Unfinished Business, where we will have Team Mike, headed by me, The Walking Death, Mike Madrigal, James Idol Martinez, The Naughty Boys, ECX and Cali Nueva, and of course, the underdog, Jeffrey, against Team Red na medyo, okay lang.
Sino ba itong mga to? Sino ba yung mga yan?
Nandun ang Vandals Manila, made up of 4, the YOLO Twins, the Jim Bro Tiago, tsaka yung komedyante na mataba. Ano nga ba yung pangalan nun?
Oh my God.
Ano nga? Nakalimutan. Ba't ba nagre-wrestling yan? Dapat hindi na mag-wrestling yan.
Nako po. Alam mo, in-invite ko si Mr. Oliero. Kaya lang, finifeel niya ata masyado yung pagiging real celebrity niya. Hindi siya pumunta dito sa BNC studio. But you know what, Mr. Oliero, the invitation stands. We would like you to come here on the show. Maybe afterwards, we can kick it with Mr. Mike, The Walking Death, Madrigal. Pero, teka, sino yun? Bakit lumalapit to? Naku, padala ata! Oh! Oh my God! Somebody stop it! Oh, guys. FPW Unfinished Business happening September 15th. Don't miss it. And when we come back here on the scoreboard, keep your eyes on the prize. And I'll try to keep my eyes on these guys. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Scorecard. Before we continue, I just want to let everybody know that nobody was hurt with the incident that happened earlier between an unidentified individual and, of course, FPW champion Mike The Walking Death Madrigal. Okay? It's just, as they say in wrestling, kayfabe or make-believe. And with that, it's time to keep your eyes on the prize. Join us as we break down the upcoming matchups to give you the edge that you need to stay ahead of the game. First up, it's the much-awaited hostilities between the undisputed super middleweight king, Canelo Alvarez, and the hard-hitting Edgar Berlanga. Known for his precision and power, Alvarez is the heavy favorite going into the fight. However, Berlanga, armed with a dangerous right hand, could pose a serious threat. The odds may be stacked against Berlanga, but boxing is a sport where anything can happen. Alvarez's dominance has been well documented, but Berlanga's power is undeniable. The fight is expected to be a tactical affair, with Alvarez likely controlling the pace. However, if Berlanga can land a clean shot, the fight could be over in an instant. The odds reflect the general consensus, with Alvarez heavily favored to retain his titles. And this is a fight that promises to be a thrilling spectacle for boxing fans around the world. Next up, expect another thrilling weekend in the PBA Governor's Cup. On Saturday, September 14, 5 p.m. at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium, the Northport Batang Pier will take on the Meralco Bolts. Northport has been hot and cold this conference, showing flashes of brilliance but continue to struggle with consistency. Robert Bolick has been the Batang Pier's go-to guy. Actually, he's the Road Warriors' go-to guy, but turnovers have plagued the team in their recent outings. If they can tighten things up, Northport may likely pull off a win. But Meralco is equally determined to score a win. The Bolts have been rock solid, especially on defense. And with Chris Newsom leading the charge, Meralco has been able to slow down opponents and control the pace of the game. Northport has the offensive firepower, but Meralco's defense makes them a tough opponent to crack. The next game is at 7:30 p.m. The Converge Fiber Xers go up against the Terra Jeep. Converge ended a 3-game losing streak with a thrilling 107-99 win against Northport. Shawnee Winston and Alex Stockton were instrumental in securing the victory, displaying strong performances in crucial moments. Despite their recent struggles, Converge has shown that they can compete strongly when it counts. Converge is expected to be the favorite team against Terra Firma, but they need to maintain their focus and defensive discipline to avoid slip-ups to continue their rise in the standings. Terra Firma remains winless after a heartbreaking 99-98 loss to Magnolia. Despite a standout performance from Antonio Hester, the Jeep struggled with consistency and lost steam in the most crucial moments. They now stand at 0-7. Expect an intriguing matchup as both teams will come out fighting to turn their fortunes around. Then on Sunday, September 15, 5 p.m. at the Smart Araneta Coliseum, the Phoenix Fuelmasters and Blackwater Bossing will wrestle for court dominance. Phoenix is still searching for their first win of the season after a tough 101-110 loss to Barangay Ginebra. Despite a strong performance from Brandon Francis and R.R. Garcia's impressive scoring burst, the Fuelmasters have struggled to close out games and have yet to find a consistent winning formula. In their upcoming game against Blackwater, Phoenix is seen as having a slight edge. However, they need to address their defensive lapses and improve their game management to secure the win. Meanwhile, Blackwater fell to Ginebra 98-112 in their last outing despite a valiant effort. Their performance showed some potential but was marred by inconsistency. The Bossing have shown that they can compete but continue to struggle with execution during crucial moments. Against Phoenix, Blackwater is expected to be the underdog. Next at 7:30 p.m. will be the much-awaited confrontation between the San Miguel Beermen and Barangay Ginebra San Miguel. Coming off a thrilling 119-114 victory over the NLEX Road Warriors, the Beermen have secured back-to-back wins, improving their record to 4-2. They demonstrated resilience by outscoring NLEX 33-22 in the final period. CJ Perez led with 24 points, while Marshall Lassiter earned Player of the Game honors with 17 points and 6 rebounds. San Miguel is looking to continue their momentum. Ginebra also secured a win in their last game, overcoming the Phoenix Fuelmasters 110-101. Japeth Aguilar showed with 31 points and Justin Brownlee recorded a triple-double. The Gin Kings are currently at 3-2, showing strong performances despite Phoenix's late-game surge. Expect an intense confrontation as these two powerhouse teams battle it out for supremacy. We have an update on the PBA Governor's Cup. Barangay Ginebra San Miguel won over Rain or Shine 124-102. And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you all again right here on Monday on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Billionaire News Channel. My name is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening. Happy weekend.